Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Call of Duty's priorities right now seem very backwards, in my opinion. And I say that because it's been very apparent what some of the major issues are with the general game right now between Black Ops 6 and Warzone for some time, right? Particularly after Season 1 dropped, everything became a mess. Multiplayer, very buggy, very glitchy, a lot of issues going on with cheaters, even in the premium experience, overrunning ranked play, ruining general matches. Warzone cheating's amplified even more since it's free to play, ruining ranked play, ruining general matches. And then of course across the board you've got significant server issues where hit reg feels terrible, where packet loss and packet burst are constantly prevalent in gameplay, and it diminishes the entire experience of the game. Doesn't matter if you have cool new LTMs, doesn't matter if you have fantastic gameplay, great core mechanics, all of that is overshadowed by those two particular things. And we've talked about them a ton as of late. Now, post Season 1, the devs obviously drop updates, they head into a break. They drop another update, they then head into the holiday break. So it's a lot of on again, off again type stuff. The update consistency definitely is not there. The communication consistency is definitely not there. But now we've seen the devs return from holiday break. We've seen Activision post about several things that I want to actually highlight in this video over the course of Season 1 really so far, and they still have yet to really address the significant stuff here. They made a few patch notes here and there, various stability fixes, as we all know, where nothing ever actually feels that different. They mentioned how in Season 2 and then in Season 3, months down the road, we're going to see anti-cheat updates, but they've yet to detail what exactly to expect with those. However, Call of Duty themselves really haven't addressed anything of major concern in any direct way so far. For instance, I want to look at Call of Duty's Twitter, because typically when there is nothing but outrage, it seems like, surrounding a game, which has very much so felt like Call of Duty the past 6 weeks or so, there's just not a lot of good news going on. It's update goes out, it breaks more than it fixes. Update goes out, and nothing that we expected to change ends up changing. We see update patch notes drop, where for each of those we expected some significant things and they were largely underwhelming. You know, we're told, hey, early on after the holidays, shortly after the holidays, we're gonna have a bunch of significant updates drop, and then one of them is 5 fixes and nothing else, and it completely breaks the game. The other one addresses some stuff, but it's clearly just more so a content update to focus on their new paid premium event pass and stuff going on there, again with minimal changes, no weapon updates, even, like pretty much it felt like it was the bare minimum, focused around content more than actually fixing the state of the game, and nothing major that I just clearly said, you know, directly impacts all of this. None of this cool stuff matters when there are significant server issues that limit you from actually experiencing these modes, when there are cheater issues that limit you from playing these modes and actually being able to find success in them and enjoy the gameplay because you're running into a cheater. So typically in a situation like this, the ideal thing to see would be Call of Duty themselves saying, hey, we hear you guys, you know, we understand there is a lot of concern about the Call of Duty servers. Here's what we're doing to combat this, or here's why you're currently experiencing this, we'll be fixing this in the future. Instead, we don't really see that. Or with the cheating issues, sure, yeah, we understand the cheating issue is bad right now. We missed the mark with ranked play, which was very obvious. Look out for Season 2 and Season 3, but in the meantime, oh well, instead of saying, you know, we understand Ricochet is not to the point where it needs to be, we're going to significantly, you know, increase our efforts in making it better. We're going to maybe invest in a different anti-cheat that's going to be more effective at what we're trying to achieve here. We just don't get any of that. And what Call of Duty instead decides to talk about, quite frankly, in my opinion, and I think the opinion of a lot of the player base, seems kind of tone deaf. If you were to look at the Call of Duty Twitter, there's a lot of, promotion for the Call of Duty League, which is what it is. Obviously, they're going to promote this. The schedule and the season just started with all the minor tournaments here leading up to Major 1. Still kind of wild because even a lot of the pros aren't thrilled with the state of the game right now. And like ranked play, you don't see them grinding that a ton because of the insane cheating issue going on there, right? But CDL promotion, more CDL promotion, more CDL promotion. They retweet Treyarch's patch notes where they say they messed up. So Treyarch themselves was taking accountability for some of the updates that they did themselves, like for Zombies where they nerfed fun, and they reverted that stuff. So getting the word out on that. But then you have bundle promotion. And then you have CDL promotion and CDL bundle promotion. So double dipping here. Look at all the cool new skins you can buy in the store. And then you have more Squid Game bundle promotion. And then you have more bundle promotion or premium event pass promotion. And this really was not, well timed. The thing is, clearly they're contractually obligated to talk about the Squid Game stuff. And that's what we're seeing with all that bundle promotion and now the premium event pass, even more microtransactions. Gotta post about that, right? Like, clearly this has been set up months in advance. You know, Squid Game was going to do their crossover. They'd talk about this. They'd have the premium event pass. They'd have this many bundles they'd promote, right? That's just how the business end of it works. They're clearly going to have to keep up with that end. They can't go to Squid Game and say, hey, remember how we decided we were going to do this crossover? Well, our game is broken. We messed it up. We can't really talk about that now. Like, you can't just do that, right? Like, that's clearly not going to work out. So they have to do that stuff. That doesn't mean, however, you have to be radio silent on all the other issues. Just because you have to promote this stuff doesn't mean you can't put out a post saying, hey, we're sorry to our players that we've missed the mark so far. Instead, it's just, like I said, complete radio silence. There's no acknowledgement whatsoever. So, premium event pass. Again, promoting the patch notes that Treyarch does in an update that once more we had high expectations for. I'll talk more on this in just a second. That ultimately was very, very underwhelming. Then we have, again, retweeting the same patch notes as well. Then we have LTM updates. Like, this is more standard, like what we're used to seeing with COD. They're going to promote the new LTMs and content. Something they have to do, but it doesn't mean they can't just say, hey, also, we know the game's in a rough state. Again, paid event pass promotion there. We have more paid event pass and you know, LTM stuff, operator bundle promotion there. They also got called out for not addressing how much the premium event was going to cost, and they had to amend that and throw that on there as well. More Squid Game promo, Happy New Year, standard tweet, of course. You have more Squid Game promo. You have double XP promo when the game was incredibly broken over the holiday break, where obviously the devs were out of office and everyone's like, oh, I guess we're just stuck with this for a little bit, right? And then even before the break, Squid Game promo, a happy holidays post, and then retweeting Raven and COD updates quite a bit in terms of like, hey, the only time we've really ever seen them address the anti-cheat and everything going on, at least thus far this year. It's funny that we stopped though here on this Raven tweet, because you guys like me have probably seen this Raven tweet several times. If you are an active viewer here on the channel, we've talked about this Raven tweet several times, because this was sort of like the you know, light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. Hey, we're going on a holiday break, but shortly after the holidays, we've got a lot of exciting stuff inbound. And that's like, okay, well, they're not addressing the servers and they're not addressing the cheaters yet, and they're not talking about any of it. They're just doing bundle promotion, but at least we have some significant gameplay updates on the way to make the game at least a little bit more playable and enjoyable when you can get past the bad servers or when you don't run into cheaters, right? So they themselves tweet this. Raven on their own personal account tweets, hey, you know, cheating's a top priority, except we won't address it on the main Call of Duty accounts, or put out a post saying, hey, we understand what's going on. We're going to actively work to fix it. Instead, it's the same PR statement as always, which is just unfortunate, right? And it doesn't really hit home anymore because we've seen the statement 10 times and the cheating is just as bad as it was like back in Verdansk, right? And then they go through all these various updates. Prioritize server performance and enhancing game stability. The only recognition we have of this one time before the holidays. We have all these other things included: perk rebalances, challenge fixes, rebalance perks, combat records, all sorts of stuff like that, lighting updates, audio updates, bunch of updates, right? Things that are like gonna be good. Okay, when this happens, when that happens, when this happens, that's gonna help improve the overall state of the game. Many of these improvements will ship shortly after the holidays. Then we go to Charlie Intel yesterday. Many of these improvements will ship shortly after the holidays. January 13th. I feel like that kind of encompasses the shortly after the holidays time period. So when exactly is shortly after the holidays to them? Because many of these changes have not shipped, and we don't have any communication as to when these are going to come. So, you know, again, it goes back to the initial point I'm trying to make here. Their communication is incredibly underwhelming. I get they're going to post their bundles. They're going to promote the CDL. They're going to do the standard stuff. Happy holidays, happy new year, you know, look at the new content we've got. But the lack of recognition, the lack of acknowledgement for the issues going on in game, and the lack of, I guess, commitment to communicate time frames and, you know, give us heads up and stuff is really unfortunate given where we're at in the game right now. It seems like their priorities are solely, hey, focus on the store, focus on the bundles, focus on the new MTX event. Nothing about, hey, you can buy all that, spend your money. By the way, those bundles might be broken, but spend your COD points on them, jump into a game. Good luck using that stuff, because you might run into 10 cheaters, or you might disconnect from the server, or you might be packet bursting, or the hit reg feels terrible, right? And there's no acknowledgement of that stuff. And that should be top priorities. They keep saying it's a top priority. Cheating's a top priority. Server, you know, addressing stuff is going to be happening. We continue to prioritize server performance, but this is coming from the studios. Call of Duty and Activision themselves are the ones that do lead the servers. It's Demonware that they outsource to for that. Call of Duty and Activision themselves are the ones that formed Team Ricochet and made their anti-cheat in-house. They chose to do that. Raven is supposed to be doing Warzone. Treyarch is supposed to be doing multiplayer and zombies and campaign and whatnot. And instead, those are the only accounts talking about the things that are Activision's priorities. And it's very few and far between and very ambiguous when we do get stuff like this, and just sort of discredits their word here when we see it's a top priority. We're prioritizing server performance. These updates are coming soon. But then those updates don't come soon, and you don't feel the prioritization of cheaters or servers. But yet, on a daily basis, there's that new bundle dropping. There's that new Call of Duty tweet talking about the new skin you can buy for your operator or the new paid event or whatever, right? Those priorities, well, yes, they're going to be there regardless, shouldn't take away from the other priorities, especially the ones that impact the other priorities you have alongside everything else in the game for every player, regardless of platform, right? So it just seems like, I said earlier, a bit tone deaf, and it seems like their priorities are just store, store, store. Doesn't matter what the state of the game is. Buy this, buy that, spend your money. But as far as the gameplay goes and your actual player experience, well, maybe not so much the priority. I actually have a separate video coming in a few days, most likely talking about the overall player experience in COD, and it seems like how they're kind of mismanaging that, not really knowing what exactly Call of Duty is trying to achieve with that. Like I said, that'll be coming in a few days, but wanted to talk about this today because especially now that we're post-holiday break, I'm kind of sitting here every day waiting for the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock to roll around when Call of Duty usually tweets to see, hey, are they going to address anything today? Are they going to say, hey, we understand this is a priority, so we're going to push out an update here, or we've got to delay this because we want to make sure we get it right. Instead, it's new bundle, new MTX, and it's just really disappointing. So I hope that their priorities get sorted out. I hope that they actually push to improve their communication, because it can go such a long ways, and we've seen this with other titles. But as for now, we're just kind of left waiting and waiting and waiting, which is unfortunate. But you do want to help share this topic around a little bit more, get more attention on this subject. A like rating is a great way to do so. It really does help share the video around. Ultimately, of course, I want to have a positive impact on the game. That's the point of bringing this stuff up and offering solutions and pushing for that, positive change, right? Also, if you want to guarantee you're in the know with everything going on in COD, so if we do ever see significant updates to the servers or to the cheating, this is the place you'll hear about it first. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and join us on the road to 1 million. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.